Viewers, they could well set up a parallel parliament. 141 opposition members of parliament have been suspended over the last 1 week ever since parliament was breached. Today was no different. And the way things are evolving, it is quite possible that parliament may be opposition mukt, as they are saying, soon. Critics of the Modi government are saying that the action taken by the custodians of both houses of parliament is unprecedented and reeks of vengefulness. The charge of vengefulness can be safely ruled out, though, viewers. There's little reason for the Modi government to cut the opposition down to size, certainly not after the deflating electoral hiding the Congress party and its cohorts in opposition got in the recently concluded round of assembly elections. While the breadth of the disciplinary action is certainly eye-catching, it is also not unprecedented, not the suspensions per se. Back in the day, 1989 to be precise, the Speaker of the Lok Sabha suspended 63 MPs in a flash. At the time, the Rajiv Gandhi dispensation enjoyed a brute majority in Parliament. I remember, of course, viewers, giving you this statistic yesterday. By all accounts, the suspensions at that time, in 1989, were hailed as an example of the Speaker privileging discipline over the whimsiness of parliamentarians. I actually looked through a large number of reports about the Speaker's action then, and they were all, viewers, extremely praiseworthy of the Speaker. Several opposition MLAs, including BJP legislators, have been suspended from state legislatures for unruly conduct. In Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Jharkhand and even Delhi, which are all ruled by non-BJP opposition parties, suspensions on disciplinary grounds are common. The suspension for 1 year of a dozen Maharashtra BJP MLAs was even revoked by the Supreme Court, that called the action an irrational act impacting the democratic setup. The left liberal ecosystem never bemoaned, quote, the murder of democracy, unquote, at any of these times. Even today, viewers, in Jharkhand, 3 BJP MLAs were suspended from the House. Did you hear about it? I'm sure no. So why is it that in the age of Modi, the suspension spree is being ascribed pejorative motives, like it's a assault on democracy, it is a murder of democracy, it is a murder of dissent? It's a question I will attempt to address, but not before playing out a video that points to an arguably disturbing new law in Parliament. The video depicts Kalyan Banerjee, a suspended TMC MP, mimicking the Vice President or the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha in the presence of Rahul Gandhi. You can see that in your video frame, viewers. Before I play out the nat of that entire exchange, I just want you to focus your attention on these visuals. Why are we showing you these visuals? We're showing them for a reason, because of what actually happened. In the middle, you can see the TMC MP trying to mimic the gait, the posture, the way of speaking of the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, who's also, of course, the Vice President of India, Mr. Dhankhar. On the left, you will see, with his back towards us, Rahul Gandhi in a white t-shirt. He takes out his mobile phone and he begins filming this entire incident. To the right, of course, you see all the opposition MPs sitting there right at the doorstep of Parliament, blocking access to it. And you can see the door at the back. It's that dark space, and through there you enter Parliament. These people are all sort of camped out there on the steps. Now listen to this exchange. Listen to this, viewers.
Mr. Rai, you are a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. You are a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. You see, Mr. Nariman is not a good lawyer. How many cases do you know? I've done in Supreme Court. I've done in Supreme Court. I've read. You must understand. My spine is so straight. You, Mr. Gandhi, you must I'm in Lok Sabha. You must understand that I have been appointed here only to say Narendra Modi. Understand it. My spine is, you see, my spine is very straight. I'm so tall.
Viewers, of course, the chairman of the Rajya Sabha was very upset. He spoke in Parliament. He addressed Mr. P. Chidambaram. He was exasperated. He turned to P. Chidambaram and said, look, this is happening at the behest of your own seniors in your own party. No doubt he was, of course, without naming him, referring to Rahul Gandhi. He was clearly aggrieved and he said that, look, you can target me personally, but why are you going after my disabilities and my limitations? Anyway, viewers, all of that, of course, happened, and it just reflects very poorly on the opposition, viewers, because especially members of the Rajya Sabha who are considered elders should not be resorting to impish behavior of this kind. It's very easily understood in a school where maybe students will try and mimic their overbearing teacher, etc., etc. But you don't expect this really of parliamentarians. Maybe I am getting ahead of myself here, but viewers, that's what I think. But nonetheless, I come back to the original question. Why is it that in the age of Modi, the suspension spree is being ascribed pejorative motives? Now, the answer, viewers, could lie in the opposition's approach to politics since 2014, since Modi came to power. Over 9 years, the opposition has relentlessly strived to blunt the NDA's project of publicizing its electoral majority as a source of stability and decisive governance. Time and again, the opposition has sought to prove that the NDA's electoral majority is a blunt and brutish instrument of oppression. And you've heard many examples of this. At every available opportunity, the opposition claims the Modi government uses its majority to undermine institutions of governance and intimidates its opponents and quash public dissent. To the layman, the mass suspension of opposition MPs could appear as a confirmation of this opposition-led narrative, viewers. And the numbers also will add to that impression. Just look at the numbers at the bottom of your screens and also on your screen. In the Lok Sabha, the strength of the NDA is 353, viewers. In the Rajya Sabha, it's 109. Opposition is 95. Almost half of those MPs in the Rajya Sabha are suspended. In the Lok Sabha, the opposition is 133 MPs. 95 of them, two-thirds almost, have been suspended. And therefore, viewers, to you and me, it would appear that the government is being high-handed. But the Vice President has summed it up best by asking a simple question. He says, are there no limits anymore? That question could, of course, be posed straight back to the Treasury benches by the opposition. So let's engage, viewers, in this debate. I pointed out certain facts to you. Let's throw them open. The main question we are asking, and it's been brought, viewers, tonight to you by Motorola. The Vice President is asking the opposition, are there no limits?
Hello, Moto.
Is there just no institution, no individual sacrosanct anymore? Fundamental question. And let me begin with suspended MP who represents the Congress party, Mr. Hanumantaya. We also have with us Mr. Tehseen Poonawala, who speaks for the Congress party and opposition. We have BJP national spokesperson Tuhin Sinha. We have Mr. Rajagopalan, senior journalist, who has observed politics very closely for decades altogether. So this is it's an esteemed panel of people who usually take a very balanced view of things. And I want to begin with you, Mr. Hanumantaya. Do you believe the actions of Mr. Kalyan Banerjee today and also of Rahul Gandhi. So the BJP claims in filming this disrespect and ungracious behavior towards the Vice President. Do you think this was ideal? Do you think this is in consonance with the principles of India's democracy?
I strongly feel that this kind of activity is not going to respect the constitution as well as the parliament. But when so many MPs were suspended, they were making a mock parliament inside the compound wall of the parliament building. So it was only a mock parliament. Even then, I don't substantiate that. I don't say it is very correct, what they have done is right. But on the other hand, you must also think what the government has done to take this position by the suspended MPs. Why they have been suspended? The reason should be known to the public for the first incident. That we have just demanded for an explanation from the Home Minister for the breach of security inside the Parliament. I expect the Home Minister, he has to come suo motu, make a statement inside the Parliament. That is the foremost responsibility of the Home Minister according to me. He has not done it. Then the opposition, keeping everybody together, they demanded for an explanation inside the Parliament. What the government did? The government neither explained nor given a satisfactory reply to the opposition parties. You push them to the well of the house. All the opposition party MLAs, MPs, they were pushed to make a demonstration inside the Parliament. And this is not totally a new action by any MP or any political party. We have been doing it.
Okay.
Whenever the government is not reasonable, opposition has no option other than protesting inside the house. That is, and I feel the chairperson of the Parliament Speaker and the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, they are above the political parties and political ideologies. They are above that, supposed to be above that. They should protect the interest of the opposition parties. They should protect in such a way. They must also advise the government that demand of the opposition parties is not unreasonable. Not unreasonable.
I appreciate.
You must ask them.
I appreciate
then why the government?
A principled stand in the very beginning. I appreciate that. That goes without saying. I don't think anyone mocking someone's disability should be excused. So I really appreciate you taking a principled stand right at the beginning. But I have a small quibble. Now you say that, look, these people have been pushed into going into the well of the house because of the obstructionist attitude that has been deployed by the treasury benches. So I want to ask you, sir, what has changed in 10 years? You see, I have in my hand a quote from Dr. Manmohan Singh when he was Prime Minister. And you will remember that the years that he was serving in Parliament as Prime Minister of India, when he was there, they were marked by a large number of disruptions by the BJP also. And at one point he says, we take great pride in our parliamentary democracy and the tradition of free debate, that it implies all right-thinking people should stand up and unitedly state that parliamentary institutions should be allowed to function. The opposition chose not to take advantage of the subtle institutional practices and insisted on disrupting parliament. This is negation of democracy. So how is it that at that time it was negation of democracy, this unruly behavior, and today it is an attempt at upholding democracy?
Mr. Rahul, what is upholding of democracy? The healthy discussion and debate inside the parliament over the issues. Am I right? When such is a case, when the government is not ready to allow the opposition parties to have a debate on certain issues, what the opposition parties
No, but that
do?
happened. Even the BJP disrupted the UPA era. Parliament.
It is certain that...
You were there.
No, listen to me. 1 minute. It is certain that our parliamentary democracy He is our pride. There is no doubt about it. But the parliament democracy must run, must be in a healthy trend.
Okay,
and healthy
so let me
movement.
ask you.
Otherwise,
Fine.
what will happen?
Let me ask you.
These
The
kind of
goalposts,
things-
but
that
sir,
healthy
goalposts,
movement
you
was
would
not
agree.
there for the last 10 years, I am seeing.
No, but you're a fair-minded person. The goalposts
It
can't
is
change.
not there
BJP
for the
said
last
that
10 years.
in the UPA era, the CNAG reports were not being tabled in the House, that there was a need, therefore, to register protests by storming the wells, etc., etc., and you took, and at least the Prime Minister then, Manmohan Singh, called this a negation of democracy. Today, sir, when the shoe is on the other foot, you are not willing to call it out as a negation of democracy. I would think that a large number of viewers will see this as double standards. But nonetheless, let me also ask you a third question. Do you know, sir, Biranchi Narayan, Bhanu Pratap Sahi and JP Patel? Do you know these three individuals at all? Have you heard of them?
I heard of them, but I don't know personally.
Okay, so they are MLAs in the Jharkhand Assembly of the BJP. And you know that the Soren
Yes.
government there, the government there
Yeah.
is supported by
Soren government.
the Soren government there is supported by the Congress party.
Congress.
Now these three individuals were marshalled out, for disrupting, quote unquote, creating disturbances and disrupting the House. Was this also, sir, arbitrary behavior, the murder of democracy today in Jharkhand?
I wanted to just enlighten on this point. The situation arised out of that house. The speaker must always, I expect, speaker and the chairman of the house, whoever, even in the assembly or in the parliament, they must be above the politics. And they must protect the opposition parties. There is no doubt about it. If the situation goes out of the control, then these kind of things will happen. But with regard to parliament is concerned,
Sir.
do you think, I wanted just everybody to tell this, to answer this question, are we wrong in asking an explanation from the Home
No one is
Minister,
wrong.
from
It's the
highest body
means
of
that
this
you're
country?
adopting.
Is
That's what
which-
has got you into trouble. That's what is being said. Now let me bring in Tuhin Sinha.
Then, no.
Let's
On
make
the
it the
other hand,
BJP Congress.
when the government is not coming forward, when the
Okay.
government is not coming forward to do that, what else is the
Okay, let me bring in the
opposition
BJP.
parties and the MPs remaining to go?
So
remaining
my
to do?
job-
Shall they not go to the well of the house and protest?
Sir, let me bring in the
Is it
BJP.
wrong
My
that they have
job,
to go
viewers,
to the
is
well
to
and
show
protest?
to you how suspensions are de rigueur. They're happening all over. Just that, and disturbances are also happening across decades. But some people think that
Yes.
they were right and now, or that government was right in disqualifying or not paying obeisance to the opposition, and today the government, by not paying obeisance to the opposition, is being dictatorial. So viewers, I've shown you those examples, but I want to get the BJP into this picture and respond to Mr. Hanumantaya. Now, Mr. Tuhin Sinha, you've heard the charges. How do you respond to the three charges that Mr. Hanumantaya has made this evening?
Well, good evening, Rahul. You know, the despicable lampoonery enacted by Kalyan Banerjee, the TMC, suspended MP, where Rahul Gandhi willingly turned out to be a cheerleader, validates the decision of the Lok Sabha Speaker to suspend these MPs. You know, this is not an isolated case. For the last 5 years, or probably more than that, the opposition has been coming into parliament with a my way or the highway approach. I would take you back to 5th January 2019, when the Rafale discussion was taking place. And, a lady defense minister was speaking. What was Rahul Gandhi and his team doing? Throwing paper planes, winking. This kind of behavior is not acceptable in parliament. We have been very patient for a very long time. Now, the point is, they are insisting on a statement by Honorable Home Minister. The preliminary statement has already been made by Honorable Defense Minister Rajnath Singh Ji. The Home Minister Amit Shah Ji has been very clear, very candid in saying that based upon the report of the Lok Sabha Speaker, he will, and once the investigation is over, he will make the statement. Secondly, the complicity of the disgruntled elements or so-called urban Naxals, 38-year-old job seekers who, attacked parliament, the complicity, the overt complicity with political parties in the opposition are clearly established. So where it is extremely fallacious to draw a parallel with, the 22 with what happened in 2001, which that attack was clearly sponsored by Pakistan. This attack is by disgruntled elements with overt proximity to the opposition. Finally, why are we so surprised? On 15th March 1989, 63 members of Parliament of the Lok Sabha were suspended in one day. What was their fault? They wanted the tabling of the Thakkar Commission report, which apparently had indicted R.K. Dhawan, over the assassination of Indira Gandhi. Rajiv Gandhi clearly refused that. They protested and they were sacked or they were suspended. Now, the Congress has always been extremely callous on the issue of national security. Even we want a discussion to happen not only on this, but also on the arrest of 8 ISIS operatives, which is a much bigger national security threat. But somewhere, the Congress and the India Alliance behavior is suspicious. They are bent upon subverting any discussion in Parliament, and that is what raises very serious questions over the intentions.
Let me bring in Tehseen Poonawalla at this point and also Mr. R. Rajagopalan. Tehseen Poonawalla, it's a very simple, straightforward question I'm trying to pose here. When you disrupt the House, you do it for a larger cause. When the BJP disrupts the House during the UPA era, it was a negation of democracy. Aren't there two double standards at play here? Very simply, when you kick out BJP lawmakers in Jharkhand, then it is being done to safeguard democracy, legislative democracy, and ensure against the negation of democracy. When the speaker here in the Lok Sabha or the chairman of the House in the Rajya Sabha does it, then it is a crushing of dissent, it's dictatorship, it's all other attended ills. Why? Why, sir?
Good evening, Rahul. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm sure that the courtesy extended to the Honorable MP and BJP spokesperson would be extended to me. So for your second question first. Yes, the Congress-led government in perhaps when they were in Maharashtra and in Jharkhand have suspended opposition MLAs. No doubt about it. Did they suspend the entire opposition? 141, Rahul. Now, please allow me to bust all the lies. Please, just allow me to bust all the lies. The BJP spokesperson on your show says the Honorable Defence Minister made a statement on the floor of the House about the incident. What was the statement that the Honorable Defence Minister made? The Honorable Defence Minister's statement came right after the Lok Sabha Speaker's statement saying that this is a small incident. This is what the Lok Sabha Speaker said. I quote him verbatim. So what the Honorable Defence Minister said, he said, you know what, next time please be careful while giving passes, whether it's opposition or treasury benches. Since then, what are the developments? There's been terror charges. This is not a small incident of disgruntled youth. The police under Amit Shah ji have said this is a massive conspiracy.
That all doesn't matter. Get to the point.
No, sir. Then I will leave. Don't interrupt my flow. It is a request. It doesn't matter. So please allow me to speak. It's very unfair, sir. Since then, the police have charged these people with UAPA. There has been terror charges. They've said phones have been destroyed. They've said there's a larger conspiracy. Isn't the Honorable Home Minister, in case of a terror attack on the Parliament of India, duty-bound to issue a statement, particularly since the Honorable Defence Minister's statement was misleading in the first place? Because the Honorable Speaker said it's a small incident? Since the facts have changed, isn't it duty-bound? And you are saying he should not speak, he should speak after the incident, after the report is filed. The same Honorable Home Minister spoke to a TV channel, sir. Spoke to a TV channel. I'm asking you, sir, I bow before you. Please tell me, sir, what is more important for a country, a TV channel or the Parliament of India? Everything else, sir, that you speak about is post facto. Pre facto is our Parliament faced a terror attack and the Home Minister of the country has not addressed the Parliament. The Defence Minister misled the Parliament. So what is more worrying? The mimicry of the Honorable Vice President and Chairperson of Rajya Sabha, pathetic as it was, wrong as it was. Is that more worrying or is this more worrying, sir? I appeal to your good senses. I bow before you and appeal to your good senses. Which democracy in the world allows this, sir?
Okay, one second. Tehseen Poonawalla, you are getting very emotional. Just
because
1 minute.
Sir, my parliament
I understand. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I have been a champion over I don't know if you've been on these debates, but I've been a champion of seeking answers along the same lines as you're posing. But that doesn't mean I'm going to rip off my shirt, jump on my table here and start dancing and then going out of the studio and mimicking this, that, the other. I won't do that, right? There's a certain way in which you raise a certain issue. You can even move court. You can even go out there and move court.
No, court has no
hang
right
on.
to
There is a
interfere in
rule book.
proceeding. But sir, may I ask you a question?
No, one second. Just one second.
Just one question. Then you speak. One question. Sir, I absolutely concede to your point. Outside Parliament, as the Honourable MP said, mimicking was bad. I accept it. I humbly accept it. So one second, just allow me to finish. I'm quoting verbatim. So please, I appeal to you. I'm quoting verbatim. The Honourable Home Minister of India speaking to Supriya Sule about Farooq Abdullah. वो उनको कोई बंद नहीं किया है क्या उनके कनपत्ती पे बंदूक लगा के ले आओ इधर Honourable Home Minister of India. I ask you, sir, is this the language on record?
Look,
I ask you, sir.
Look, viewers. Let's just separate the very quickly to Sinha, and then I want to bring in Mr. Raja Gopal. Yes.
My friend Tehseen, whatever comments he made today were contrived. They were not emotional. They were a planned attempt to deflect attention from the core issue over here. See, on the one hand, the Congress says it's such a serious issue. On the other hand, what has Rahul Gandhi done? He has tried to condone the attacks by blaming it on unemployment and on inflation. What is the unemployment data?
You just said that.
It is the lowest in 6 years, 3.1%. What is the the inflation rate? It is within the range of retail inflation rate is within the range of 5%. What was it during the UPA era? It was in the range of 9 to 10%. So, this is how they condone acts of terrorism. I don't think Congress should be giving us sermons on national security. The point is, Rahul, I am asking you.
Let me bring in. One second. Let's not shout over each other, gentlemen. There's nothing to be gained. We're already seeing the consequences of that. Do you know, Mr. Raja Gopalan, and this is not Rahul Shivshankar inventing this number, it is the Congress party during the UPA years that testified in Parliament that it takes 2.5 lakh rupees a minute to run Parliament. Now that was back then, 10, 12 years ago. Can you imagine the number now? It must be corrected to inflation at least 3.5, perhaps even 4 lakhs a minute to run Parliament. How many minutes are wasted in doing all this drama?
It's a huge amount, huge timing. And second thing, Rahul, out of this panel, I am the only one journalist who covered Neelam Sanjeev Reddy as Speaker of Lok Sabha. Neelam Sanjeev Reddy, can you imagine? K.S. Hegde, Ravi Ray, Somnath Chatterjee, CMG Balayogi, what not? Their main rule is don't cross the floor. There have never been an example. The opposition benches never went to the treasury benches. There is a demarcated line. That is why Speaker is sitting in the middle. That is what Ravi Ray explained. That is what Somnath Chatterjee explained. But now what is happening? Whenever Amit Shah or Narendra Modi is there, they put placard in their face. Sit, Modi down, Amit Shah down. Is it the way? And some MPs from Tamil Nadu went to the extent of even smashing Smriti Irani and Prime Minister's mics during the demonstration. Or they elected 8 lakh people elect this MP to do this type of drama inside the house? Absolutely not. What Mr. Kalyan Banerjee did is anti-democratic way, and he should be pulled up. That is what, I would like to urge upon. And the second thing, Rahul, whatever is happening, Mr. Somnath Chatterjee used to say, you cannot sit in other members' chair when you address the Speaker of Lok Sabha. You have to sit in your own chair. Such type of rigorous rules were in Lok Sabha. This time given go by. The reason is they cannot, including Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, mother and the son, cannot just see Mr. Narendra Modi in the PM chair. That is the anger in their own stomach burning that is coming out in their anger. That is why Mr. Rahul Gandhi spoke that the person who jumped from the visitor gallery seeking employment. And today, what is that employment Rahul Gandhi has been doing? Taking a video film of Mr. Kalyan Banerjee, a joker. This is what we have come to this. And I am very sorry, the Congress MP has been substantiating the events by the Congress. I am very sorry. Like Sachin, I am also losing my emotion because I covered the parliament for 42 years, not 1 or 2. What happened today is absolutely reprehensible.
Let me tell you, viewers, You know, Tehseen Poonawalla has been saying how his heart bleeds for the India's parliament and how it is a place where the people's voice is expressed. Now, the Congress Party's leading light, Rahul Gandhi, who you can see on the right, viewers, let me just talk you through some of his statistics in parliament. This is of the current parliament, viewers, and this is a website called PRS India, needs no introduction. Now, viewers, you will not believe it, but 53% is the attendance, when the national average is 79% and the state average is 84%. Number of debates, 8. National average is 44.8, viewers. State average is 76. This is the scene, viewers, here. 53% attendance, that means every other day, almost he is not in the house when it is in session. This is Rahul Gandhi's record as a parliamentarian. Now, viewers, in the budget session, crucial budget session, 39% was his attendance. Monsoon session, again, 1 in 2 days, 56%. So, viewers, in the winter session, it's 0%. 0%, viewers, in the winter session of 2023, which is the ongoing session. Now, viewers, at that point you have to ask a question, that is this all being done to paint the BJP in a certain light? That's a fundamental question. That it is an undemocratic party. You first provoke, then when you are rejected, you claim, well, look, democracy is being smothered, you stand outside, you do all that tamasha outside. Viewers, the point is, at the end of the day, these politicians will keep going at it each other. But it is us who lose out. Our voices are not heard through our representatives, number one. And number two, viewers, our very hard-earned money that we submit in taxes is being wasted on a daily basis. The onus is today on Parliament and all these parliamentarians to decide whether they actually want to conform. In no other parliament, any other part of the world, viewers, do we see scenes like this. There are many democracies that are fully functional. You don't see this because there people have a certain degree of respect. I'm sure, viewers, when you see parliamentarians storming the well of the House, spraying pepper at each other or pulling and tugging and thrashing each other, I'm sure it doesn't fill you with pride. It probably fills you with anger and regret. I think, and let me be bold, the Speaker hasn't gone far enough. And there are many ways of tackling this in a more stern manner. Some people have even suggested docking money for every minute that House is disrupted. Perhaps that's what needs to be done. And let me tell you, the Supreme Court has even upheld it in the past. So there is precedent. I need to move on.